created a game called Scramble Bridge. Again, it's two parts. You try to establish a contract and then you play the game. Last time we went through the bridge game briefly. I hope that people at least familiar with the bridge to some extent could follow today's show. We're going to play the Scramble Bridge games in real time. I will play against an opponent. Let me backtrack a little bit, okay? The bridge game usually 4 people, but there is so-called honeymoon bridge, which is 2 people play, and we introduced that 2 people Scramble Bridge game last time. We'll continue to demonstrate this today, although this game can be extended to play as a 4 people game, which is more involved. I think after we get this 2-person game, maybe next show or in the future, we'll introduce the 4 people Scramble Bridge. Now, as 2 people play against each other, initially we will deal cards to each player. So you will start out with 13 cards, just like bridge game. Now, when you have 13 cards, there are 2 ways of playing this Scramble Bridge. Similar to the honeymoon bridge, one way is you bid first, and then you exchange cards. And after exchange cards process is completed, then you play the 13 cards to win the tricks and determine who will win or whether you fulfill the contract. The second way is you change the cards first and then bid, okay? Now, in poker cards is fixed deck, 52 cards, so you each get 13, and that's 26 cards, and the other 26 is for exchange. Now, in Scramble, we have more cards, and we do not have to use up all the full deck. You will be dealt 13 cards, okay? And your opponent will be dealt 13 cards. So today we're going to play the 2 ways. One is bid first, one is to exchange card first. Let's have the first hand dealt, okay, by our studio director. In fact, this is the way we're going to play. Somebody in the studio is playing against me. You, as audience, is my partners. We play together against this unknown person, okay? All right. The first hand was dealt, okay? Let's see. Okay, this one actually, we shortcut a little bit. You can see on the screen the player A and player B, okay? They have words already spelled out. The reason is when you have 13 cards dealt to you, you can quickly sort them out to see what words you can make. Okay, in this example, okay, on the screen you see that EX, okay, ILEXL is a word. Okay, the next is SPREAD, okay, is a word. In other words, out of the 13 cards you have, you can sort these 2 words out, and 2 left letters that are not used is F and R. So that's player A. You have those 13 cards. And player B, of course, has 13 cards also. We don't know what they have, okay? So we were going to play this game by exchange cards first before we bid, okay? Now, since in our hand, okay, your hand or my hand, we have 13 cards, we have 2 words we can spell out, okay? One is a 5-letter word, Excel. One is spread, which is a 6-letter word. The 2 other letter, FR, doesn't make words, so we could exchange cards to increase the length of a word we can make. We have F and R to exchange. How do you exchange? Of course, the deck of cards, you open one card and you play, discard a card to exchange for this card that is open. So this screen shows the first card open is F, okay? Although F I'm sorry, it's R. Is it R or F? It's F. Okay, I cannot see too well on the screen. The F is opened. Now, we have an R that is not used, okay? We play the R and exchange to get F back, okay? Now, the opponent, okay, played F, sorry. Opponent played F, I played R, okay? Now, if R wins, he gets to select the card, he gets the open card, or if you lose, you get the card underneath that, which is unknown. So in this exchange process, you do not get to see every card, but you see the card that is opened, and the hidden card is exchanged without revealing to the opponent. Okay, so when you do this, the player B played a T, and for T, he gets back a U. And this letter U is very useful because vowels sometimes have the bonus points that allows you to multiply the left side of letter or right side of letter in the word by the bonus multiplier. And U, in this case, is 3L, means the left side of the letter points can be multiplied by 3, which is your bonus, okay? All right. In this particular slide shows in the game, the B player changed T for U, W for a wild, and T for O. Okay, this is the exchange process. Now, after you exchange this, you end up, okay, a new set of 13 cards, which you can make words. Let's see what we get, next slide. Now, the next slide, John, you probably can push this card forward a little bit so that I can see the screen better, so that I won't misspell the words, okay? So after you have the new 13 cards, you start the playing process, okay? And you play first trick. Now, the first trick, fine, thank you, okay? The player A, okay, after it gets the new cards, it can sort out the letters into equipment. I'm not so sure this is a correct slide. Are you sure this is a correct slide? I think, did you get a mistake? This right? Okay. If it is so, the equipment is a 10-letter word, okay? So before we play this, we should have been bidding, because you exchanged cards, you should bid. Now, since you have a 10-letter word in your hand, you can bid 10. Of course, that's high level. It's similar in the bridge game as, like you say, 1 spade, 2 spade, 3 spade, 4 spade, all the way to 7 spade. This, you bid 10-letter word, and your opponent cannot match. They will yield to you, so you have a contract to play the 10-letter word. Now, when you have the contract, you lead the 10-letter word, equipments. It's equipments, and that happened to be a word has 172 points because the wild card and bonus built into the word. Now, your opponent doesn't have a 10-letter word, so he has to discard the 10 cards. In this case, he discarded B, E, L, E, P, R, E, A, D, D, R, F. Okay? And why? Because he kept A, X, or A, X, E, or A, X, X, I, X, I, S. Okay? The X is high point, and I happen to be, has the 3 times the left side of the points as a bonus. Since x has 10 points, that 3 times 10 is 30 points bonus for this word xi. Si is a Greek letter, but it's a word in the English, okay, with s after added, so it's a 3-letter word. So I think the player basically kept this 3-letter to hope to win the second trick. And sure enough, you see we have MOD left. Mod played against XIS. XIS wins, so the player B gets this trick. Okay, so the 44 points plus 9 is 53 points, whereas the first trick, the equipment is 172 points win over 25. You add up to 197. Okay, so this hand, the player B wins, by 140 points almost. Okay, so this hand is quickly demonstrated without really going step by step playing. Okay, I hope we'll go next game slower, step by step, starting from dealing to you 13 cards random, and you will have to sort it out. Okay, let's have the second hand dealt. All right. Now in this hand, you, audience, and I, we are together. We have been dealt 13 cards. Is A, E, H, okay, I, J, M, N, Q. Or O, sorry, O. And wild, that wild is a bonus card with 3 times the entire word score, so it's a very powerful letter. And then P, Q, V, okay? Those are the 13 letters. And our opponent, hidden in the studio, player B, has 13 cards which we don't know what they are. Okay? Now, in this case, now we are playing exchange cards first, okay? And then we will, okay, let's see. I would see the sequence of exchange. So, in this 13 cards, initially you have random in your hand. You really have to use your brain fast to sort them out, see what words you can make. Okay, I can see that you have a lot of high points like Q and J. Okay, those are high points, so you want to take advantage of that. For example, J with wild as a U, you can say J-U-M-P, jump is a very high point, even though it's only 4-letter, okay? And you have Q there. Again, you can do E-Q-U-I-P, and that is also a high point, okay? Because the wild card bonus is there. And you also have V, perhaps you can say, and you have O, M-O-V-E, move, it's also a high point words. So you, in your head, you have to quickly sort this out, and then that allows you to prepare yourself to bid, whether you bid 3-letter, 4-letter, 5-letter, 6-letter, and up, and so on. And you, of course, can be a little bit sort of ambitious or a little bit taking a little bit of risk by anticipating in the card exchange process, you can get better letters to enhance your words. Okay, all right. So for the last 13 cards, we quickly sort out. As I say, you can make equip, which E-Q-I-P, which is a 5-letter word that has 84 points, which is very good. And you can also use the V and M there to make this word vitamin, which is 7-letter word, 76 points. Jump, I mentioned before, as 4-letter word, as 88 points. Or down below, moon, M-O-O-N, which is only, it's 30 points, 4-letter word. And you can possibly make MOVE as move, or add a I to make a movie and so on. So these are potentials. So you register this in your head. These are potentials. Now let's see what can we bid against the opponent. We don't know what they have. Okay, they may have a 4-letter word, 5-letter, 6, 7, and so on. So let's start bidding. Okay, let's say we first be conservative, bid the 5-letter word, the equip, which is 84 points, is very high. Let's say we bid that, right? That would allow you to win a contract. And turns out that the opponent doesn't have a 5-letter word higher than 84 points, so we get a contract. Okay? Once you get a contract, we'll start the card exchange process. All right? Now, we do have some letters that we can exchange to enhance our words. So let's see what the first card. The first card opened up was a B. Okay, B is useful to us. Remember we said we had MOVE, move. Now we also have an A. Now if we take in a B, perhaps we can make the word above, ABOVE, which is pretty good because that O has a bonus multiplied the right-hand side V, 8-point letter, to give you a high bonus. So let's say we want to get that, so we play a letter J. J, although it's high point, but the high point card allows you to win this first sort of a competition to get the B letter. We played a J, and the opponent played N. J is an 11-point letter card, wins over the N, which is a 1-point letter card, so we get the B. The opponent gets a questionable card, which we don't know. Now, apparently the player is generous to let us know he got a letter E. The question mark, okay, as you can see, is E, okay? Although he doesn't have to tell me he got this letter E. All right? So I got the B, they got E. All right. Now we start sorting quickly. All right. Now, and I decided that we should go on the exchange process another letter. So the second letter open up, okay, is E, and this E has a bonus. Okay, it's 3L. We really want the E because we got the B, we have the O, we have the V, we have A. The above needs an E. However, we need an E, okay, to multiply by the left-hand side because that V is 8 points. So if you place the E after V, you would get that bonus point. So we can play the second letter, okay? We play N, okay? But the opponent played L. N is a 1-point letter, L is 3-point letter, so they win. They get the letter E with the 3R, okay? The open card was 3R. So they got E, so we lost that E. But our luck have it, the next card under the 3R turned out to be is also an E with 3L. Okay, so now you have that E in your hand, you can make that word above. Okay, at this point, what do you have now? Our three words is equip, which we start out with as our bidding word, and the second one is above, which is also a 5-letter word with 58 points, and then the 3 letters HIM, him, is 3-letter word, 9 points. So at this point, we have 3 words and fairly high points. So perhaps we should stop the card exchange. So we say, now we'll start to play. once we stop the exchange process, we will have to lead the contract word. The contract is a 5-letter word, so we'll lead equip. Okay? All right. Let's see how the opponent will play. We played equip. Okay? Next, as shown in the next slide. The trick, first trick, okay, the player A, okay, played a 5-letter word above, okay, instead of the equip. The reason is you have 2 5-letter words. You don't have to play the highest one first, okay, and you play the first one above and see whether the opponent has any. The opponent doesn't have any 5-letter word, obviously you win. But if he does, you would have to play the word, and then you can play the second 5-letter word and win the second trick. So there's a strategy in this. Just like in bridge game, you have to guess what the opponent has in their hand, and you have to guess whether that word is higher point or lower point than yours, or whether they have 1 or 2 words, and so forth. So the first trick above is 58 points, and the opponent played SCENT. Okay, the wild card left plus right is used as a E, cent, but that only has 13 points. Okay, so you win. I mean, we win. Okay, so we get this trick. Now the second trick, we lead equip. Okay, which is 84 points. All right, and the opponent played fumed, F-U-M-E-D. Okay, and U has a bonus, which is pretty good, multiply on the 5 points. However, it's only 18 points. So again, we won. So we got 102 points because the 84 points plus whatever that points from the opponent, we get 102. The third trick, okay, we played H-I-M, him, and opponent doesn't have a 3-letter word. Again, we win, so we got 15 points. So the total in this score, okay, is 183 points, okay? So this is how the bridge game is played. It's not very easy to demonstrate this, of course, as a solo person with a screen, but if you are a bridge player, I'm sure you can understand this because the similarity between the word bridge game versus a regular bridge game is quite remarkable. The bidding process is almost exactly the same. Okay, you try to establish a contract. In the bridge game is 1, 2, 3, up to 7 on a suit based on the strengths of the card, whereas here you bid 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to even 13 if you can. That is the length of the word you can build with your cards. Obviously, 13-letter word is very hard, and if you bid that, you're almost sure you get the contract. Okay, so that bidding process is quite similar, and it's fairly easy to do that. However, to prepare yourself to bid requires you to sort these cards. That's why this name Scramble comes in. You based on the scrambling principle. You scramble the letters to make words. You can make 3-letter word, 4-letter word, 5-letter word, and so on, or 6, 7, or whatever combination. And based on the words you can make, or potentially you can make, you can take a risk, say, well, I'm missing only a E, I will hope to get a E by exchange. And then you can overbid a little bit. Once you bid the contract, then you start exchange the cards. Hopefully, you will have better card. Or if you don't want a better card anymore, you stop the exchange and you play the cards. And play the cards is very straightforward. You basically lay out the words you have in your hand and see whether your opponent can beat you or not. Okay? So that's the version. And the second version, you exchange cards first, then bid, is simply a little different in strategy. Because when you change cards first, you must have a pattern in your mind. When you change cards, you want to see with, oh, okay, I have 6-letter word and possible another 7-letter word, but I'm missing a certain letter, I would change. But you don't always get the letter you want. So you have to dynamically sort, scramble in your head these 13 cards. Based on the letter exchange you get, quickly sort them out and then use the bid. Okay? So I hope this half an hour, this explanation sort of made it a little clearer for you. I know it's not easy, and I certainly like to welcome you to join us at the studio, sit on a square table and deal the cards and play and explain on the spot. That's its only way really to absorb this quickly. But since we have a small studio, we can't allow too many people to come in. So I start with this sort of like a semi lecture first to get the idea across. And if you're interested, just send me an email, call me, and we'll set up a game for you. Okay, you can come in to play on the studio and see how well you do. All of these games that we created are learning games. Basically, you do have to have some vocabulary base that you to play the game, and the more you play, you build your vocabulary, better and better. So now, if time is running out, I have to quit at this point. I would like to say just a few words about our tournament again. Okay, our tournament is coming in February during the school recess week. Okay, and we made the rules now very simple. You can qualify to play the tournament competition and win prizes. As you know, we have usually books, toys, games, lots of prizes to give out. As long as you have achieved a word score 50 or above. Okay? So, thank you for watching. See you next time.